This is a granite room.
So this room's doing just fine. Doesn't need any.
How have I never seen this before?
Flinders Petrie said probably this is the most precise artifact ever came out of Egypt.
And this is that Ben right there?
Yeah.
What is the explanation? What do they say this was, a coffin or something?
Everything's for death. It's all coffins.
It's all for death.
Yeah.
It's a perfectly polished rectangular granite box with looks like it was cut with a laser, dude.
And the bottom has an angle, a constant angle.
The bottom has an angle. You mean the inside bottom?
Yes. Yeah.
If we back up, freeze it so we can see that. But the top.
Holy cow!
The top surface was published. Petrie measured and published it, and he found it to be 0.004 of an inch deviation across about 1.25 meters,
like flatness,
which is I think 20 times flatter than a normal household countertop.
And this entire room is also made out of granite. These are granite tiles. It's crazy. And we actually could measure it. And
so why though? Like the whole thing is like, why? Like it's. So number one question is like, obviously how, right? I mean, that's the glaring one. But then once you figure out like why the hell did they have to do this? Because one of the things Chris Dunn says is that coming from an engineering background, you start with function, then you go to design, and then you do like the measurement. So like you start with your function, and then you kind of like engineer it from there. Like, what is the purpose of this? Yeah. Like, then you figure out how precise you have to get to achieve your purpose, right?
Or they had the tools, which made it easy.
If
they had already those tools that could provide these tolerances, they don't have to think about, okay, how should we do this?
Right. You can't see that this is more flat than far less flatness. So, and it is possible to do this. In modern lapping methods, this is lapping, what would result in something like this, are generally hybrid approaches. There's a machine that's like randomly moving flat, maybe circular surfaces over another surface, and then a lot of times somebody by hand applies some finishing lapping. Okay. So it is possible to do this by hand.
Okay.
But you can't see it. You can't see how flat it is. So if this was their target, and look how homogeneous that is. So if this was their target because of the function, like you mentioned, Dan, how would they know when they got there? How would they know when they achieved their target? They can't see it.
So basically,
unless they would have had to have something to measure it, right? Like they would have had.
You can make a flat surface with the lapping technique, but
it seems like it's something that's almost incomprehensible. It's like I can't think of any way they would have been able to do this.
So we fitted a plane on this can,
right?
And you can see the green area is around 0.004 of an inch.
Oh my God!
And that's exactly what Petrie measured. We don't know how he measured it exactly, what tools he used in the Victorian era. Mm-hmm. But
how much does this thing weigh, do you think?
If I had to guess, I'd say like 2 to 3 tons.
2 to 3 tons?
I think much more.
Well, it's hollowed out, so...
So it wasn't moved there. It's been there.
The other problematic issue, as Petrie put it, is that the maximum width coming into this room is smaller than the minimum width of the side of this sarcophagus or bathtub. So how did it get in here? Maybe the room was built around it, though, right? So that's your explanation.
Oh my God!
So but to what end? And look at the.
How deep underground are we again? 100 feet?
I think a little less. Yeah, 75 feet.
Wow, dude.
It's Kyle.
Wouldn't you love just to get a time machine and just keep going back and see how the fuck this shit was done?
Bathtub time machine.
Yeah, this is the back side of that room. It's almost collapsing.
Yeah. Good Lord.
Hopefully this box will be still visible in a few years. They won't close the entire pyramid. I hope so.
What is that they've carved into? Is that solid rock or is it like just compacted mud?
I'm not sure.
There is both because some of the mud brick is collapsed.
Well, I'm sure that's a lot of that's modern and reinforced with different things, maybe even concrete or something like that, just to make it. I mean, that's clearly modern, right?
No, this is original.
This is the original.
Oh, that's original.
This is original granite. Yeah.
This is the red granite. So Petrie described these walls as
it's the same material as the box.
Yes.
Correct. Ground. They were ground to extreme levels of flatness, but not polished.
But on
So
the
think of
edges, it looks like there's
sandpaper.
some mortar around it.
That's modern.
That's modern, right?
It looks like it probably doesn't need to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's just so insane. Like what? Like why? Why cut a box into something so precise where there's nothing else around it that's as precise, right? It seems to be only this box.
Most of these boxes in Egypt had lids. So
Yeah, the ones in
conceivably,
Serapeum had lids.
a lid fit on top of here, hermetically sealed what was inside, which is why you needed the extreme flatness. We don't know if there was ever a top found. We don't know. The dynastics at some point did, I think, bury someone in here.
What is your like wildest hypothesis of like what this could possibly be? Like I know it's not going to be scientific, right? But like, what's your what's your imagine? Like you just push your imagination to its limits. What do you think it could be?
I think this stuff was repurposed. I think it used to look a lot different, and it's going to be really hard to hypothesize what it was originally used for, what it looked like. But things are moved around.
Chris Dunn thinks they were used to grow crystals. These boxes. Have you ever talked to him about that?
Yeah, it seems as likely as anything. Sure.
It seemed plausible. The way he was explaining it to me, I don't remember it exactly how he explained it, but the way he was explaining it seemed very, it seemed like it made sense to me at the time he explained it.
These rooms, these boxes, they're resonant, right? They're harmonically
Right.
tuned. These
Right.
people are obsessed with resonance everywhere, frequency and resonance. So that could fit with that theory, sure.
And do you remember what he was saying about how the crystals were grown?
In Lahun, in this one?
No, in the Serapeum.
Not exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it had something to do with the boxes being more precise on the inside than the outside. Like the outside didn't matter. It was the inside that mattered.
The volumetric considerations are more important.
Something about the resonance and something else. I would love to hear somebody that could like explain that theory to me. Yeah, that's crazy. He's holding a square tool to the edge of it, and it's literally perfect. There's no gaps with that square tool up against the granite.
And we measure the same, not the same spot, but this same angle. And actually, if you fit planes on both the top and this side, the angle deviation is like 0.25 degrees. So it's 90.25.
That's crazy, dude. And it's polished. You can see his reflection in the stone.
Yeah.
I think the chemical. I think what Jeffrey Drum talks about with the chemicals, using it to scoop stuff out and to soften stuff. I think that makes a lot. I'm not a chemist, but I mean, to my layman brain, I think it makes a lot of sense. And as well as like polishing this stuff. But again, I think these people were just on another technological trajectory than we are on today. And that's why some of this stuff doesn't make sense to our brains. Because just like the way we're going technologically, just like with combustion engines and with electricity, and like that's our foundation for technology, and we like build up from there. We're not really innovating anything different. We're kind of on like a very linear trajectory with our technology, and it seems like they were on a completely different trajectory than we are now, and that's I think why we can't understand it.
Yeah, I agree.